The stat that really concerns me from a Mavericks perspective is the 5 out of 12 free throws. They had a number of opportunities that they could have helped themselves from the foul line. They didn't do it in the first half. I think the shooting percentage also, they can't rely on that perimeter shot the entire game.
You know, the Kings 4 for 11 from the three-point range. I thought there would be a game of where the Kings could exploit Dallas a little more closer to the basket. I don't really think that, you know, Webber has 10 points, but I don't think he's played the type of physical game that he needs for his team.
Yeah, we haven't seen Chris Webber really assert himself going to the basket in the post. He's been mostly a distributor in the first half. I definitely think the Kings need Webber to be more aggressive, asserting himself in the paint.
We talked earlier in the game about that tough mentality that these teams will require. Looking at both squads, which one exemplifies it more?
Well, I was really concerned with the Kings' energy level to start the game. I don't think they came out real hard. They went to a different lineup to start the second quarter, brought in Jackson, brought in Clark. It got him back into the game. We'll look to see how they respond here in the second half. I think the toughness of Dirk Nowitzki to come out and knock down shots on a bad ankle, it's great, but then you got to question the Kings. Why is the guy open?
Okay, you're right about that. Now let's take a break from the on-court action and see what's been happening in NBA news. Karl Malone of the Utah Jazz became only the second player in NBA history to score over 36,000 points, joining the legendary Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The mailman reached the milestone against Orlando on Wednesday during a season-high 40 points. Dikembe Mutombo of the New Jersey Nets has returned to light training after surgery on his troublesome wrist. The Veterans Center is aiming to return to game action before the end of March. The Indiana Pacers have hit a real slump, losing 13 of their last 14 games and 10 straight on the road. This follows a 33-12 start to the season, a franchise best since they joined the NBA in 1976. The Pacers have dropped back to 4th place in the East. David Robinson of the San Antonio Spurs has been placed on the injured list due to lower back spasms and will miss at least 5 games. This is Robinson's final NBA season after a 14-year career with the Spurs, which has seen him named as one of the NBA's 50 greatest players. And we see that Dikembe Mutombo is coming back, but you know, you look at a guy like Dikembe and you say, what does he take away? Looking at the New Jersey Nets now, what does he take away from that team?
Well, he adds a big-time shot-blocking presence, but then again, they're known for an up-tempo transition style of basketball. Jason Kidd leading the break. I think right now you really got to question whether that's going to be as big of a factor as people think, the return of Dikembe Mutombo.
In the East, I mean, you have so many teams that are tight at the top. You have the top 6 teams that are all, they have a chance. Who do you see surviving in the East and why?
Well, I think the interesting team we saw they featured was the Pacers. The Pacers have lost all these games, and they're still right in the mix. I mean, they have as good a shot as anyone. I really like Boston, though. I think Boston, when they get healthy, they get their guys back together. I think that they can make a strong run into the playoffs.
A lot of Michael Jordan fans. Will the Wizards make the playoffs?
Well, I think they're going through some turmoil right now. Michael Jordan has really challenged his guys, and in recent games, they've stepped up. It's going to be a test. I think everyone would love to see MJ make the playoffs, but that 8th spot's going to be really tough on him.
Okay, enough. Thanks for that. Now, there are 68 non-U.S.-born players playing in the NBA. San Antonio's French point guard Tony Parker is one of the smaller ones, but he's making a big impact.
Je m'appelle Tony Parker.
He's got breakaway speed where he can go by people, and he uses that.
Boy, he's quick. My goodness. And scoops it to Robinson.
And the guy's quick as lightning.
You need more than one man to contain this young fella.
A lot of times, guys of that size have trouble finishing at the rim. And Tony wasn't having any trouble. He was getting to the rim. He was getting the ball in the hole. And so I kind of knew he was going to be good.
Sure, you can talk about Tony Parker's speed and quickness, but the most impressive thing is how at 6'2", he's mastered the team's toughest position of point guard. Only 20 years of age, Parker has the maturity of a 10-year vet. Panic and bad attitude are not part of his makeup. Plus, he's learning from vets Robinson and Duncan, 2 of the best teachers around.
I like to push the ball, try to make the game more easy for my teammates.
Nice look. You have to love his maturity. He's not trying to force his offense, trying to set people up instead.
That'll give you an idea of what's to come from this young man.
Quietly confident, Parker grew up in Paris playing for Racing Basketball Club. He's been around basketball his entire life. His father, who's American, played ball in Europe for many years. Parker has been playing in the NBA for 2 seasons now, and he feels privileged that he's been able to realize a lifelong dream.
Like a dream come true, you know, since I'm small, I always say that I want to play in the NBA. And I just work hard, and I'm just so happy to be here, and now that I'm here, just to get better.
It's a tough position to play, and he comes from someplace else, and nobody at his position's ever made it from someplace else.
Vive la France!
They say that now I'm representing France in the States, so it's not too much pressure. I'm just happy to represent France, and I'm doing the best I can.
Parker has naturally made a splash back in France, and when he yearns for a taste of the homeland, there's only one place he heads for.
L'Étoile Restaurant. Let's go. Let's cook some good French food. This is my man. He's the chief. After every game, he make me some food. Like that, I'm not homesick. Put some butter first. We love butter in France. So that's escargot. That's typical French food. They don't like that much in the States. Do it like in France. They put a finger and they taste it. Voilà. See if it's good. So there it is. Cassolette d'escargot et de chanterelle.
And you can see Tony Parker in action for the San Antonio Spurs next weekend in 2 big Western Conference clashes on Saturday when they play host to the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's 9 a.m. on Sky Sports Extra. And then on Sunday when they take on those Lakers again at home, that's at the slightly later time, 9:30 on Sky Sports Extra. Had you heard of Tony Parker before he arrived in the NBA?
Honestly, I had not. I'd seen him when he was a rookie last season, and what impresses me is his body control. He's got great ball skills. He's a European player that's played against men at an early age, giving him great experience.
You know, you look at him and, you know, you've had a chance to see him now for a year and a half. Strictly just looking at his game, what would you say he needs to improve most on?
Well, I'd like to see him improve defensively. I think at any stage of anyone's career, guarding the likes of John Stockton, Gary Payton, some of the top point guards in the Western Conference, I mean, that's a tough task for anyone. He's a relatively inexperienced player. I think defensively, especially, guarding the basketball, number one.
You know, I'm sure the Spurs will be looking into this game today. They're only a few games behind, you know, Dallas, but you look at him, such a youngster running a veteran team.
I think, though, the experience around him makes it easier on him. But the other factor is he has tremendous experience. His father was a pro over here in Europe, and he's played against men at an early age. So I think his development process has really pushed him along far beyond his years, basketball IQ-wise.
We talk about 68 non-U.S.-born players in the NBA, but the vast majority of them are the big men. Why the shortage of guards being able to make that transition?
Well, I think the big factor is in America, in the United States, there's a tremendous amount of athleticism and ball skills. Over in Europe, it's a different game. It's more about set plays, it's more about tactics, and I think it's less about the athleticism. So I think that's why you generally find bigger players from Europe who are more skilled than the athletes of America make that transition easier.
Okay, Mike, thanks for that. And we're at the half of our game. The Dallas Mavericks lead by a score of 59-55. Dirk Nowitzki has been outstanding. Keep it here. We'll be right back after the break.
Semi-finals of the Cricket World Cup.
Here we go.
First, Australia v Sri Lanka.
He's got him. Huge run.
With 15 wins in a row.
And he's given it.
Can anyone stop the Aussies?
Ball it.
Then, India v Kenya.
Magnificently taken.
With the leading scorer in the form of his life.
That's a big one.
Can anyone stop Tendulkar? The semi-finals of the Cricket World Cup, sponsored by Travelex Foreign Exchange, start Tuesday, 7 a.m. Sky Sports 3.
Passed your driving test. Congratulations.
Thanks, Dad, I passed. Well done, son. How was his three-point turn?
Yeah, it was good.
Sure. Well, his instructor says it's normally a bit dodgy.
No, it was definitely fine.
Did you check he used his mirror correctly?
Yeah.
You sure? How long have you been an examiner?
Come on, get a move on. We're late.
All right.
You can't beat a bag of best.
I thought you paid these.
Are your credit card bills getting you down? Well, give debt the finger, or more precisely, two. With Brilliant Industries' La La La, I'm Not Listening musical fingers. Brilliant Industries, your lighthouse in the fog of ideas.
Or, even more brilliant, with an Egg card, you can now get 0% interest on all balance transfers. That means 0% when you move balances from all your other cards, and better still from your personal loans and overdrafts too. There's 0% interest on anything you buy, and you get cash back on all purchases.
I'm leaving you now.
Delicious.
Oh, great.
Apply now at eggrate.com.
And we're at the half of this Western Conference Clash, a 4-point ball game there. And you look at this halftime stat, and as you know, I see that the Mavericks have the advantage score-wise, and it seems in the matchups as well, Mike.
Definitely. You see Nowitzki, 21 points on a bad ankle, but not only that, 8 rebounds. You got Nash making plays for them. They're slightly ahead because they got the better numbers in the first half.
You know, I mean, it really has to be a surprise with Nowitzki. Here's a guy coming in on a bad foot and has got 17 shots, but probably 15 of them have been wide open.
That's the question that I have. I mean, here's a guy, you know he's got a bad ankle. He may not play. They're not closing him out. They're not guarding him off ball screens. They're not finding him in transition. From the Kings' standpoint, they've really allowed him to get his streak going, get hot, because they haven't pressured him.
You know, we look at that, you know, all those wide open shots defensively, I'm looking at him and I'm saying, okay, now he's such a key to this Dallas team. Why don't I just have a defender who your job is to stay with Nowitzki, not to rotate, not to be concerned with anybody else, but to take him out the ball game?
That's exactly right. You know, obviously the Kings are a well-coached team, and they'll probably make some adjustments here in the second half, but the Mavericks got the momentum because of Nowitzki's perimeter shooting.
Another guy who can hit the perimeter shot is another European. We had 2 Europeans as the leading scorer in this game, Stojakovic.
Well, here's Stojakovic. If the Mavericks continue to play his zone, Stojakovic is going to be a factor. And even in transition, like they say, like you see there, they have to find Stojakovic. The Mavericks have to find shooters because that building, Arco Arena, will feed off those three-point shots.
The Dallas zone defense, what you talked about, Stojakovic hitting the jumper out of it, is there quality in it, or is there just a relaxed, you know, take up space type thing?
It could be maybe that, you know, Nowitzki's ankle's really bothering him, and they want to alleviate some of the pressure of him guarding man-to-man. You know, that could be a factor there. But it doesn't look like there's a lot of energy being played as they allow Jimmy Jackson to get that open three.
You know, but on the season, they do try to play a lot of zone. But then the Dallas Mavericks, the 4th worst rebounding team in the NBA. Would the zone defense have a lot to do with that?
Definitely, because the blockout responsibilities are much more difficult. When you play man-to-man defense, you're guarding, you're marking an individual player. In a zone, you're guarding an area. And sometimes there's some confusion on who's my man to block out, who should I keep off the boards and try to go get that rebound.
4-point ball game. At the half, you're Don Nelson talking to your team, saying what?
Well, I think you can't just rely on Nowitzki to knock down three-point shots. You have to continue to attack the basket, continue to get Van Exel and Nash making plays in transition, and make sure you convert momentum plays. If the Kings turn it over, if they go through a streak where they shoot some bad shots like they did in the first half, capitalize on it. You know, on the other side, if you're the Kings, you've got to lock down Nowitzki. You have to find him. You can't let him get off as easy, and then continue to attack the basket, go inside with Weber, be a force in the paint.
Okay, the Kings have 23 points off the bench. Let's get back to the announcers.
Early. Get him going to the hoop.
Lonnie Divac gets it to Weber. There's nowhere to shoot there. Christie got it open. Look, and he buried it.
Again, another assist for Chris Weber. Whenever he gets the ball, the defense has to focus in. That's going to free up guys like Doug Christie, who today is a willing shooter.
Here's Adrian Griffin, who's been a willing rebounder as well as a pretty good scorer for Dallas. Alley-oop inside of Finley.
Yeah, I think Vlad, if he was healthy, he'd have got up there and knocked that one away.
Probably with his chin. I'm surprised Pollard hasn't played at all. He was so good in the game against Toronto. Nice passing, Bibby.
Christie's open again. Missed this one, though. And Griffin going to be in double figures in rebounds pretty soon. Finley playing one from three-point land. Trying to chase down his own miss, turns it over.
When the game is played at this pace, everyone should be in double figures. Doug Christie trying to go over the top of that screen. That's a tough one there to defend.
Bibby, great leave for Weber in the paint. Down to 2 again.
As Weber has lost some athleticism over the years, and with this current ankle problem, his skill level has improved.
That makes him totally scary when the ankle's healthy again, right?
But can it get healthy this year? Will it ever really be all the way back?
Bibby trying to steal it from Nash, but it's LaFrance who throws it in.
Throw it down, Rafe. Come on.
Chris Webber right here. He's the guy that makes it happen for them, and just such great pause. I mean, that's why he's great in the pick and roll. He can catch just about everything.
PAUSE or
whatever one you want to use.
You figure your mom's watching, she'll call. Gloria, give us a call. We want to know how you spell that.
Is Bunny watching today?
I'm sure she is. It's our St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. And she's got to gear up for that. Yeah.
So, is that the reason for the green tie?
Yeah, that's it. I had to beat the rush. Stojakovic. Christie. Oh. Wow, what a pass. That's some zip on it.
Poor spacing right now.
Weber's got to hurry. Nowitzki way up, but came down hard. And let's see how he recovers from that. He's all right.
That's a rebound.
Here he is offensively. And drew a foul.
Vlade has no chance of guarding him on the perimeter, and certainly has less than no chance guarding him when Dirk Nowitzki has a head of steam.
How old is Vlade? I mean, Dirk Nowitzki's 24. How are you going to guard somebody like this out on the perimeter? Dirk Nowitzki is going to go down in history as one of the most difficult matchups in the history of basketball.
He got a 7-footer that can shoot outside as well as anybody in the league. He's got 22 points, 9 rebounds.
And I don't think Dirk Nowitzki has scratched the surface as to how good he's going to get. Physically, he's going to continue to mature. 3-4 years from now, wow. I just hope they can get some beef up in the front line to support this guy.
On a switch off, Vlade Divac, nice pass from Weber.
Weber as a playmaker today has been fantastic.
Stojakovic almost took it right back from Divac. Instead, he'll drive, and he's fouled.
The game has not reached the flow that we had early on.
No.
The running up and down, the quick hitting attacks, the give and goes, the back doors, the dropping the passes between your legs. Don Nelson sensing that the game is becoming a half-court game, coming quickly with Sean Bradley. Maybe Bradley can have an impact, unlike the first half.
You can catch live NBA action on NBA TV tonight at 7. The Bucks continue their quest for the playoffs. They'll travel to New York and meet the Knicks. That's tonight at 7 only on NBA TV.
Both of those teams coming off losses. The Knicks at Atlanta. Hawks playing very well of late, Brad.
Well, they won like 5 of their last 6, haven't they?
How about your Hawks, huh?
Stojakovic got 1 of 2.
And then Milwaukee giving one away against the Lakers the other night after an 18-point lead. Who would have thought?
Nash thinking about getting it to Bradley, and he's double teamed. Nowitzki for 3. Yes, got it. And a collision in the lane between Bradley and Divac.
This has been brewing all day. Maybe for decades now.
And Vlade gets the foul call.
And Vlade is not going to argue this one at all.
And Nowitzki on the perimeter here, just going to let one fly.
His 6th three-pointer of the day.
This is the way you get back at somebody, though.
Let's see what happens there with Divac. You just never know with Vlade how real it is. Well, he's always flopping to some extent.
I disagree. But
that's come on, you know if Bradley throws you down, you're flopping. Bradley
but
can't
that's
throw
one
you
of the
down.
problems with Sean Bradley is that you just don't know what you're going to get.
Right now the lead goes back to the biggest it's been all day, up to 10.
Give and go here.
Divac, and he hits it over Nowitzki.
Maybe that altercation will wake Vlade up.
Well, the last time he hit a shot, he was clean shaven.
And didn't have bronchitis. Bradley would go to the ball very well, goes out of bounds.
Standing and reaching will kill you every time in any aspect. The interchange between Vlade and Chris Webber has been a thing of beauty all afternoon. Chris Webber is playing like a point guard. Vlade is stroking it like the small forward whose game his most resembles. Horrendous pass.
All knocked out of bounds. Wait a second. See if the officials are going to have a little committee meeting. I guess he'll be out of bounds to Dallas.
In a game of this level, of this magnitude, with San Antonio surging from behind both these teams, everything has got to be crisp, near flawless. Where's the sense of urgency?
It's not where it was in the first half so far here in this third quarter.
Good defense by Adrian Griffith.
Divac just pulls his way inside. And runs the court back down. Down to 6 again. Nash. And Chris Webber all over the rebound. Webber with 5 assists today, as Bill was talking about his passing ability.
The average is near 9 in the 3-game sweep so far.
And he goes offensively over Bradley.
There's nothing like going at the big guys. What you live for. That's when you know you have a game.
He can't guard him. And right here, going to be a great defense by Adrian Griffith. But Nowitzki has to give help. It allows the opening for Vlade Divac to drive the middle. And this is a mismatch every single time. Last time they played down in Dallas, Webber wore him out. I think he picked up about 3 fouls in 45 seconds. He was trying to guard Webber.
And Webber caps off the 3-point play.
Didn't you just say it's a 10-point lead?
Dallas has got to try to get this game open and more into a scramble game. Try to get Finley and Nash going.
7 straight points for Sacramento.
Nice defense, Bibby.
LaFrance, Nash, and Finley, they move it around well. Off-balance shot and a foul on Christie. You know, guys, when Bradley had that last foul down there that sent Webber to the free throw line for the 3-point play, Don Nelson pulled him out, and I don't think Sean was too excited. There's a little stare down going on there.
Don Nelson, one of the most positive coaches, though. The team lost earlier this trip against against Seattle. But it's not time to start pointing fingers and blaming guys. Time to pull together. The team was able to recover nicely in a buzzer-beating win against Golden State.
He will get on you, though. He will get on you and let you know when you're not doing things the way he thinks you should be doing.
You know that.
I know that. Personally, I know that.
He will never get on a guy who's given him maximum effort. And that's what he's complaining about.
Tom kept telling him, Coach, I'm giving you all I got. It's just not enough. Inside Stojakovic.
Oh, it drives him more nuts if you're not in the game mentally. If you don't know where you're going on a given play, that really drives him nuts.
So again, the lead is sliced down to 3.
Good defense, Doug Christie off the ball on Finley.
Dallas has always had the answer when Sacramento pushed it down to this point. Griffin, 3 on the shot clock, and he got it. How big has he been on offense today?
He's playing like an all-star. If he could do that on a constant basis, watch out.
He's got 10 points, which is more than double his average.
Oh, thank goodness they made this call.
Defensive 3 seconds.
The day is complete. Peja Stojakovic, so expert at moving without the ball.
Peja trying to shake off the pain, and now he's at the free throw line where he'll rip it anyway.
Either that or he had something stuck to his finger.
Dirk Nowitzki arguing on the rule interpretation of the illegal defensive rule. Wish they just do away with that rule completely.
Dumb rule. Play what you want to play.
Allow any sort of defense whatsoever.
Webber got in a little too deep, but did get his own miss back, and it's rejected by LaFrance.
And that was great weak side help by Adrian Griffith. Seeing the spin was about to come and beating Webber to the spot.
Nice step out, Bibby.
Nowitzki got it.
Doesn't make any difference. Just jumps right up over the top.
Oh my, 7 foot against 6'1". That's an easy look.
28 points for Dirk Nowitzki.
And it's his left. Nice
Webber,
pass.
nice pass.
Oh,
And Christie got hammered by Nowitzki.
Now notice the difference between that kind of pass that Weber threw versus the one that Sean Bradley just sort of floated it casually down the lane. Speed it up a little bit.
Ray Fliprenz has had a pretty good ball game. His block shot led to some offense for Dirk Nowitzki, who's been the offense for the Mavericks. 28 points for Dirk on a bad wheel. And it's Dallas in front by 6.
Give me a kiss. Ha. Well, put it in your pocket and save it for later. Lisa the gift shop girl. Dry spell, prepare to be moistened. Hey, Lisa. How you doing?
JD, I can't give you free gum.
You're probably one of those girls that's so pretty that no one ever has the courage to ask you out.
No, I get asked out all the time.
You want me?
I don't.
You do?
Just
give me a kiss.
Scrubs, Thursday, 10 o'clock, Sky 1.
Who got this? Noah, I know what you're thinking. You think it's got to be an easier way for you to learn how I play. See, basketball is the weight of my dreams. When it's from the soul, it's easy as it seems. Sing it, Joe. La 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 la.
Manina, ya so menino de la, ella o mio amor, ya sono menino de la.
The Citroen C5, engineered to relieve stress.
Hi, I'm Steve Nash of the Dallas Mavericks, and you're watching the NBA on Sky Sports.
And in our game, Steve Nash, 8 points, 7 assists. And there's been some latest scores that have happened earlier today. We have here the Cleveland Cavaliers, 122 points. Ricky Davis, 28 points. The Cavs snapped a 7-game losing streak. Mark Jackson of the Jazz overcame Magic Johnson for second place in the all-time assists. Now the Jazz have John Stockton at number 1 and Mark Jackson at number 2. Philly and New Jersey, Iverson at 31 points. They held the Nets scoreless the last 9 minutes. Kenyon Martin at 21, Kidd at 23, but the Nets missed their last 12 shots. Minnesota and Portland, that's the latest right there, and that's a big win for Philly.
It's a very big win for Philly. They're just starting to find their rhythm. Look out for them down the stretch.
You know, and Philly, led by Iverson again, who gets it done. And a lot of dependence on Allen Iverson with that team, though.
That whole team's built around AI. He's a tough guy. He's a great player, but can he carry them deep into the playoffs? I guess we'll see.
Okay, the Dallas Mavericks are up by 6 points in our game, and Dirk Nowitzki is playing outstanding basketball. And you know, looking at some of the hairstyles of a couple of their players there. Nowitzki and Nash throughout the years. We'll get back to our commentators.
Just be happy they have hair.
That's true. There's Shaggy. Scooby's on the bench right now. And Doug Christie's at the free throw line.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, I don't.
There's nothing wrong with a low-maintenance ball dome, is there?
Doug Christie's got the Tom Tolbert look minus the goatee. Christie with 10. And the lead is 4. Under 6 minutes remaining for Marco Arena in the third quarter. Battle between the top 2 teams in the West. And it's been a dandy so far. Van Exel.
Just too much creativity by Van Exel. Bibby played him very well. He made the correct adjustments defensively once they identified the set play for Dallas. But when you're that good as Van Exel is, what can you do?
Weber, what can Nahara do with him? Well, he played it pretty well, and Stojakovic kept it alive, though. Just inside the three-point line.
It has not been Tasia's day. Normally he kills the Dallas Mavericks, as most small forwards do.
You mentioned he had 36 and 10 the last time they got together. Finley has a look up at the clock with 10 on the shot clock. Nahara too strong, and Christie another rebound.
We talk about small forwards against Dallas. Earlier on this road trip, Rashard Lewis lit him up for Seattle for 30. About a week ago, Kevin Garnett had 31 and 18 against Dallas.
Weber draws a double team behind the back to Vlade Divac. The assists are getting better looking all the time.
I wouldn't double Chris Weber because I think I'd make him beat me with a low post move. I think he's a better passer than he is a low post scorer. And if I'm Rick Adelman, I wouldn't just throw it down to him. I think he's better on the move and pick and rolls.
That's the problem that Dallas has. They do not have a single guy who's a legitimate defensive star.
Griffin, who's been big offensively today, just keeps on going. 12 points for Adrian Griffin.
And not taking very many shots to get those 12 points either.
And 9 boards as well. Here's Bibby from long range. Nowitzki's got his 11th rebound. Dallas by 6.
They're running plays for Adrian Griffin. That's how hot he is.
Finley misses a 3. Weber saves it as it goes into the crowd.
And while Sacramento has had to battle back all day long, playing at home, you're not going to get worn out doing that because your crowd, this one of the best in the entire league, will never let you get tired.
Lottie looked like a turtle wading through honey there as he cut across the lane. But
and you want to talk about a guy that can flat out pass. You're going to see Chris Weber in the post right there. And then Vlade Divac right here, and he sees Nowitzki has his back turned. Once you can see his numbers, you go right by him. Whoop! Underneath the bucket, Nowitzki can't get him. Great cut by Vlade Divac, even better pass. Looks like Chris Weber.
Vlade's got 6 points this quarter. Makes his first trip to the free throw line.
Why would you ever stop moving if you're playing on this Sacramento team?
You wouldn't. And the two big guys, too, know that if they cut, their partners can get up the ball because they both can pass. But that's one thing we haven't seen from Vlade today, the passing. You can just tell he's not himself out there.
He does hit 2 free throws, though. 10 points for him, 8 this quarter.
Hopefully the Vlade Divac flu will run its course and he'll be better by Thursday night when the Lakers come to town.
I don't know if they have chicken soup at his restaurant, do they?
They've got it all there. What a great place, Tunnel 21.
Here's Van Exel. Pick Van Exel. Just a variety of ways to find the basket.
When we talk about Bobby Jackson being able to come off the bench for the Sacramento Kings, this guy, look out.
And Nahara with a foul. That's his first. Bobby Jackson looking on next Sunday after the Lakers-Spurs game. ABC Sports bring you round 2 of the 2003 IRL IndyCar Series. The heart-stopping wheel-to-wheel action comes to Phoenix in the PureX Style Indy 200. That's next Sunday, 3:30 Eastern, right after the NBA on ABC.
Big week for the Lakers. They play at the Clippers tomorrow night.
Grudge match.
And then they up here on Thursday.
What
and
do you
then
mean
down
at the
to
Clippers? Say playing at home. Different uniform.
Different locker room?
No, they keep the same
They
locker
keep the
room.
same locker room.
If you're the Lakers, believe me, you don't have to step foot inside the Clipper locker room. Could ruin your whole year right there.
The locker room is very nice.
Chris Weber is working on a triple-double, which he had in the first matchup this year between these two teams. 17 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. Van Exel with a long ball. Rebound is Christie's. Sacramento can cut it to 2 if they score. And Griffin, who's done it all today, almost had a steal. Nice hustle by Adrian Griffin. 2:35 remaining third quarter. It's a 4-point Dallas lead, 82-78. You're watching the NBA on ABC Sports Championship Television.
And it's a tight game, but it's just one of those games where the Mavericks are holding on, but you just know at some stage Sacramento has to make a big run.
There's a lot of basketball left on their home floor. They're right in this game. A lot of time left, Kevin.
Let's deal with a few of these emails. We have one from Steve. People talk about the MVP, Garnett, Kobe, McGrady, Duncan, but after tonight's performance, they need to maybe add Dirk Nowitzki as a contender.
Well, I think it's Dirk Nowitzki. It needs to be a contender, especially if the Mavericks can hang on to the first seed in the Western Conference.
I mean, but that's the amazing thing. Here, they've been first seed from the beginning of the season, but all you've heard about is all these other guys, and Dirk has, if they first seed, Dirk has been their leader to get them and to keep them in that position.
There's no doubt about it. He may not be, in a lot of people's minds, an established NBA star to this point, at least not in the Kobe or the Kevin Garnett or Tim Duncan mold.
You have one from John Sky in London. The Kings have suffered many injuries this year, yet they remain right at the top of the league. Do you think now that they have all their players back, they're starting to come together with the Lakers struggling, that anyone can stop them from getting the championship, the Kings?
Well, I think the Kings have to be very happy that they've gotten through all the injuries this season. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's a long season, and they just need to get themselves into shape. You know, they have as good a shot as anyone. Right now, this is for top seed.
Sam Roberts, who would you rather have as one guard, Mike Bibby or Nash?
My choice is clear, Steve Nash. Not even close. Nash is tremendous in the open court. He doesn't need ball screens to get in and beat people. Outstanding passer, terrific perimeter shooter as well. So my choice is clearly Steve Nash.
Bobby Jackson, Nick Van Exel.
That's a tough one. I think it's a little bit closer. Right now, I'm going to have to lean towards Nick Van Exel because of his experience. I know Jackson has better stats, but I think that over the years, you can't teach experience. You can't put a price on it. So my money's on Nick Van Exel.
You know, yeah, and I have to say, well, I like Bobby Jackson. I like what, you know, the effort that Bobby Jackson brings, the toughness that he brings, and I think he probably takes a fewer bad shots than what Van Exel does on the court.
I agree with that. We were just talking here, you know, you got a tight game. You're trying to get Nash some rest. Will Van Exel be under control out there? He's going to hit a lot of those clutch shots, but then he may shoot you in, he may shoot you out of the game.
And you talk about a tight game, getting the rest. Bobby Jackson was in the starting lineup early in the season before Mike Bibby came back. Did a credible job with the team. We'll get back to the announcers. It's a 4-point ball game.
Don't worry about who they're playing. You want to win this thing, you say, hey, bring them all on. We want the Lakers in the first, second, and third round.
Finley. Wow. Nowitzki, nice pass to Finley. 12 for Michael. Bobby Jackson, it's about time for his pilot light to come on. Gave that up and kicks it out to Christie. Right back to Jackson, sets and fires. Missed it though.
Dirk Nowitzki dominant on the defensive board.
13 rebounds for Nowitzki. You know, in a game last year against the Kings, he had 21 defensive rebounds in one game. Did Dirk Nowitzki. And today you can forget about the ankle problem. Here's a steal by Stojakovic. Goes right back to Dallas.
Jack it up.
Van Exel. Clanged one as Clark gets the rebound.
Never let the show get in the way of the game.
Stojakovic, that's a big one. With 1:14 left in the quarter. 18 for Peja. Here it is again, guys. We were talking about it. It's been at 3 and really never getting over that hump for Sacramento most of the game.
Nice job defensively by Christie.
That's what the Kings need, a defensive stop. Instead, they're going to get a bump on Bobby Jackson. Bobby pleads his case to no avail.
Peja Stojakovic has been very quiet most of the afternoon. Finally, a transition opportunity. It has not been in the second half the open court fast break game that we anticipated and saw a lot of in the early going.
Van Exel steps to the free throw line. He is only 1 of 3 from the stripe today, but he hits that one. Nick had 20 points to lead Dallas in the first matchup this year between these two teams, and had 17 and 15 in the subsequent 2 losses. And he rips both, and he's got 13 here today.
Shows you how good these teams are offensively. It doesn't quite have the flow it did in the first half, not quite up and down. Dallas still with 27 points this quarter.
Unlike Detroit that exploded for 71 at home last night against Boston.
Out of bounds, Sacramento. Last touch by either Van Exel or Nahara, I'm not sure which.
Well, they busted the Lakers in the chops for 111 at home last week.
That was so amazing. I mean, they played so flawless in that game. Chauncey Billups comes alive and plays like a real star. Then they come out with 71 the next night at home.
Weber. Finley thought about an outlet to Van Exel. He'll bring it down himself instead, and he'll take the shot.
Short.
Wow. A 2-for-1. That was a 2-for-1 shot.
Yeah, but it was 2-for-1 the other way.
No, not anymore. It's not.
Christie waits for his troops to come down court. There's about a 4-second difference. Shot clock and game clock. Naharat trying to stay with Weber, and he's fouled, and he might get a T on top of it. I think he did. He didn't like the call. I don't know if something was said or if it was just the hand gesture.
Oh, jeez. They gave him a T.
He's just figuring that out now.
The Mavericks are perplexed here.
That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I mean, it's questionable whether that's a foul or not. And all he did is, look at that. I mean, come on. Suck down your whistle.
And now Don Nelson's going to get precariously close to adding to it if he doesn't watch out.
You cannot show up the officials with arm gesture.
And Stojakovic is looking over at Nelly saying, you know what, I don't want the Dallas coach on the floor while I'm shooting, if you guys don't mind. Stojakovic is 4 of 5 from the free throw line today.
Poise under pressure, being able to accept the adversity as part of the natural course of events, and be able to fight and play your way through it.
Again, this was the reaction after the foul call that will send Weber now to the free throw line.
Let me say this. If that was Nowitzki doing that, it wouldn't have been a technical call.
And Weber, who is not a good free throw shooter, but has been today, misses that one. Steve Nash is going to check back in here in the final 13.6 of the quarter. As again, the Kings will try to cut the lead to 3 if Weber can hit the free throw.
Coming with offense, you put Nahara on the bench. Steve Nash has not capitalized on a quiet game by Mike Bibby.
Oh, both free throws were pretty ugly.
Were you a Spanish minor? Is it minor in Spanish?
No, Spanish is my 5th language.
I really want to know the other 4.
Van Exel, this is the 3. And the third quarter comes to a close, still with Dallas in front. As they were at halftime, up by 4. They remain up by 4. 86-82 at the end of 3. And when the Mavericks lead at the end of 3 quarters, they are 40-4 on the year. This is ABC Sports presentation of the NBA on ABC. We'll continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Starts Friday 7:30 with Saints Castleford Sky Sports 1, sponsored by Stan James. It's smashing.
It's too late now. It's done. It's their problem. That's the price they said.
But technically, it's theft, isn't it?
New Cadbury Dairy Milk with biscuit, the perfect combination.
The Tornado GR Mark I starts Air Combat Collection, a fantastic collector's edition of the world's greatest fighting aircraft. Each 100-scale metal model comes complete, and the magazines contain detailed cutaways and full specifications of all the aircraft. Air Combat Collection, out now.
In the three quarters, 86-82, and surprisingly, not a lot of fast breaks in this basketball game.
Surprisingly, when teams have had opportunities, they've knocked down shots. But right now, I think you have to take a look at the Kings. Chris Webber, he's got to be a factor in the paint. He's not establishing himself as a low-post scorer. He's been a distributor for most of the game. They have other guys that can do that. They need Webber to be a factor in the paint.
Webber in the game, 17 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. But, you know, for me, he still doesn't display the toughness that I think is necessary for the physique that he has. But, you know, speaking on the other side, Nowitzki, 28 points, 13 rebounds on one ankle.
We spoke at the beginning of the game. This is a game about the Mavericks sending a message. Nowitzki stepped his game up and sent it. The Kings still have a quarter. We'll see how Webber and Bibby and those guys respond.
And it's such a big game. I would have to say more so for the Kings than the Mavericks. Mavericks, 16 losses. Kings, 20 losses. You know, I think that makes up a big difference there. The fourth quarter, 4-point ball game. It should be a good one. Let's get back to the Arco Arena.
Even though that third quarter slowed down, it was still a great one.
Joe and Gavin Malou posted a dinner here for Jim Kelly, who was out here raising money for his fabulous charity, Hunter's Hope, reachable at huntershope.org.
Named after his son.
His son is suffering, unfortunately, from leukodystrophy, a life-threatening and generally fatal disease. Hunter is now 6 years old, and Jim Kelly has given his life to try to change things around for other people. He's raised over $6 million in the last 6 years since he gave up every aspect to try to make it happen for young Hunter, who was born on the same day that Jim is born. Now, the Maloufs have donated a magnificent gift to Hunter's Hope organization. I want to thank everyone and encourage people to open up their hearts, not only for the Jim Kelly Foundation, Hunter's Hope, but also for Hunter himself.
Keon Clark at the free throw line. Had been scoreless in the third quarter. Nowitzki walking back cross court. As Keon Clark tries to make it a 4-point ball game again, and does. Remember, he's hit the game-winning shots the last 2 times these teams have played. Keon Clark, a Hall of Fame career, he played against Dallas all the time.
Does Keon Clark have calf muscles?
What calves?
He is streamlined.
Yes, he is. Aerodynamic.
Yep.
Finley, Jimmy Jackson on him. He wants to shoot it and has to. And he dropped it in. You've got to be kidding me.
For a player who struggled so mightily coming into today's game.
Strength. That is strength right there, because Jim Jackson's a well put together guy, and to be able to get that shot up not only on the rim but to make it. Michael Finley powerful in his own right.
What Finley does so well, though, he dribbles to a spot and then explodes. He doesn't really worry about the defender, where he's going to be, or the defender's footwork or his balance. He just identifies where he's going, pounds it there, and then explodes into the air.
Finley has 11 of his 17 in this second half. So his slump that Bill was talking about before the ball game in the last 2 games has started to go away, and that's great news, of course, for Dallas.
Dallas throwing a little zone look at him. Got to try to find a way to hit the creases.
Jim Jackson would like to return the favor on Finley. Instead, he goes to Clark, and Clark has the last 4 Sacramento points. Still, Sacramento finds itself a handful down as we approach 10 minutes.
The zone has not been effective at all for Dallas. Not quite sure why they continue to try it.
Finley over Jackson again. Another one.
Now, we've seen Finley go on incredible streaks, and these last couple of plays, he's in the zone. Just milk him right now. Wear him out.
Here's Jim Jackson on the baseline, but he missed it. Webber, nice position for the rebound.
He just can't jump.
No, he got above the ground about a quarter of an inch. And had to throw it up over right for friends.
Flips it up there and put such reverse spin on the ball that it grabbed the glass and came right back.
And Etchell for LaFrench on the baseline. Jimmy Jackson with a rebound. Sacramento can get it back to that magical 3 again if they score. Maybe it's a not so magical 3. That's about as close as they can come. Weber double team. And double dribble as Christie tried to. Oh, it's 3 seconds. Beg your pardon. Turnover either way.
Well, Weber made a nice pass into a wide open key where Doug Christie didn't want to shoot. And with Rick Adelman playing so many different guys, Hedo Turkoglu can't get back in the lineup. Scott Pollard hadn't even had a chance today. Does Mike Bibby get a chance coming down the stretch?
Runner by Nash.
Well, the Kings need to get the tempo going back in their favor. Get the crowd into it, get it home, get the pick and roll, see if you can get some buckets, get the crowd going.
Jackson all the way in. LaFrench stripped it from him. Weber trying to stay with it. Nowitzki the rebound. LaFrench will try 3. Bobby Jackson, maybe he's the answer. He's been quiet today, though.
But who's going to run with him? You don't see the pounding of the floor normally associated with Sacramento.
Look out from behind. Steve Nash hustled his way through. Sacramento knocked it off him. Well, hey, wait a minute. They're going to turn that around, I guess. We'll give you an official word here as soon as the officials. It's going to be Sacramento ball.
All made possible by the relentless hustle of Bobby Jackson pursuing from behind.
There it comes. Bobby Jackson playing defense. They need some offense, though, with 8:38 to play.
5-point ball game. The Dallas Mavericks continue to control this. You look at the, for me, you're starting to get down where it becomes about matchups. And I don't like some of the matchups I see out there on the floor.
Well, right now, as we were saying, Michael Finley is just giving it to Jimmy Jackson. Jackson has trouble guarding him, and all it takes is one shot to get Finley going. He is a streaky scorer, and he can fill it up.
Here's the play that helped to get him going.
As they reverse the ball, it's a one-on-one situation, shot clock running down. Finley, a great scorer, uses a shot fake, intelligent, and all it takes is one to get him going. Followed that up the next possession with a great shot himself.
Not a guy that gets a lot of respect in Dallas because of the Nash-Nowitzki combination. You have a guy, Michael Finley, has been there for 5 years in that organization. Each season he's been in Dallas. He's averaged over 20 points, but not a lot is said about him.
Well, he's been quiet in this game, got into foul trouble early, but again, there might not be a better streak scorer in the NBA than Michael Finley.
And another guy who's been big for them in this game, is Griffin. Adrian Griffin has come in and given them all that they need on the defensive end and on the offensive end, doing a decent job, not a great job, but doing a decent job of holding Stojakovic down as well.
As you established early on, he came out with great energy, 8 points, 8 rebounds in the first half, did a great job. All the attention is on Nowitzki, Nash, Finley, these other players. If they can get that type of production from Griffin consistently, the Mavericks can maintain that top spot in the West.
Rick Adelman, what would you be saying to the Sacramento Kings at this time?
Well, I think they need to get their shooters back onto the floor, and if the Mavericks continue to double down on Weber when he's in the post, be ready to catch and shoot. They're not attacking the basket right now. Shoot that ball with confidence.
Do you stay with Bobby Jackson, bring Bibby back in?
I stay with Bobby Jackson. Bibby gave you nothing in the first half. Bobby Jackson is playing extremely hard. You saw that back tip right there. Stick with the guy who's bringing the great effort on the night.
Okay, and it's a 5-point ball game, 93-88. The referees getting ready to get it back in play. So let's get back to our announcers.
It'll be Sacramento ball inbounds. They had the hip-hop crew out here during the timeout. This little guy can't be more than like 2.5, and he can dance now.
That's awesome. But his calves are bigger than the real Keon Clark.
That was Peter Townsend.
Sacramento with an offensive unit out here now. Both Bibby and Jackson playing together. Stojakovic, Weber, let's see if they can get some points on the board.
They've got 4 on the shot clock. Weber knows he's got to take it. It did hit the rim, but Nowitzki's got another rebound. Nowitzki might end up with a 20-rebound game on a bad ankle before it's all over.
backcourt has got to come alive for Sacramento. They're going to have a chance to win. Bibby's 1 for 7. Bobby Jackson 2 for 8. Jim Jackson 1 for 5. Oh, me, oh, my.
And traveling violation on Nowitzki.
Dirk Nowitzki can't believe it.
Mavericks lead the league in fewest turnovers, just over 11 a game. Here's what Bill was talking about. Kings backcourt normally so efficient offensively, and big-time struggle today between those three. I always get the feeling, though, that Bobby Jackson can change that in an instant. He'll take it from Stojakovic instead. As Bill said, you can consider him a guard. When you think about how well he can shoot the three, he's got 22, and it's down to 2. Defense trying to pick it up, and they do. Chance to tie. There's the tie. The lead can evaporate either way in a hurry, especially when you've got a guy like the two-time three-point all-star champion, Peja Stojakovic, when they desperately need it, drops a triple. Then the turnover. Bobby Jackson, the dish to come. We're tied at 93.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is an important safety announcement.
Your Sky viewing card is due to expire. When your new card arrives, keep your Digibox switched on. Remove the old card and replace it with the new card. Then wait 20 seconds. Failure to change your card will result in a loss of TV channels.
Thank you for viewing with us.
Go on, Princess. Is that Billy Wilkinson?
Willie Wilkinson. I never liked him.
Unlike your sister, as I recall.
Flash as ever. Flash motor, flash clothes.
And her mate Pauline and Tanya Roberts and that Susie...
Oh, I'm right on cue, the flash bird.
Susie Perkins and her mum.
He wants to get himself a couple of kids. And a mortgage.
Nice house.
If you like Neo-Georgian.
Oh.
Bolt-ons, only from O2. Get 400 sacks for £16. That's 4p each. See what you can do. O2.
Game living up to expectations. Stojakovic breaks Nick Van Axel down, hits a long three-pointer, makes it a two-point ball game from there, and then Van Axel here loses the basketball. Bobby Jackson recovers, pushes it down the floor, lays it off for the nice deuce, and we have a tied ball game here, and it's what we asked for.
This is why they're playing. Look at that crowd. Look at that environment. That's why home court advantage is so critical in the NBA. All it takes is one big basket and one big defensive stop to get your crowd involved.
7 minutes left in this game. Big-time Dallas fan. They've been controlling the game throughout. Momentum is where at this moment?
Momentum's obviously with the Kings. They snatched it. They grabbed it in an instant. Right now, if you're the Mavericks, you've got to be really concerned finding shooters on the perimeter, blocking out rebounding on the defensive end, and making sure you get good shots.
It's still a tie ball game. It will be Dallas's basketball, so is it much of a momentum swing when you look at those intangibles there?
Well, right now they did a great job trying to stop the momentum with the timeout, but we'll see how they do.
Okay, let's get back to the action.
95-93.
What do we say separated these teams? Defense. And that's the last two trips down the court. Steals for the Kings, turn them into buckets.
Nash. 5 on the shot clock. LaFrentz missed in close.
It's got Peja Stojakovic starting Dirk Nowitzki. Why isn't he posting up every time?
Stojakovic has been brilliant on offense today. Weber has done it all again as a rebounder, an assist man. Peja got it! Biggest lead of the game for Sacramento. Finley through traffic, and he missed in close. Out of bounds to Sacramento.
Well, it's been the defense for the Sacramento Kings stepping up. Bibby with the steal. Over to Bobby Jackson. A little flyby, and then Chris Webber. Can't do much more than that if you're Rick LaFrentz. Get a hand in the face. Just a great shot by a great shooter.
The problem that Dallas is facing, where are they going to get the offense against fighting off this crowd and against this surging Sacramento defense?
Sacramento's on a 12-0 run. Weber trying to make it 14. Nowitzki's got another rebound.
You've got to give it to somebody who can get something on their own right now, Dallas.
And Exel normally can. He is fouled.
Well, that's all they have out there besides Nahala. I mean, they have 4 guys out there that can get shots on their own. Van Exel, Nash, Finley, Nowitzki. But I think it's time to get Nowitzki in the post now. He's been shooting the threes, but let's see some of the versatility. Get down there, post up, get yourself to the line.
Check in with David.
Guys, the one difference that Vlade Divac said is between these two teams, he thinks the Kings believe can stop people, and they don't think the Mavericks can stop them. They believe that the defense that Sacramento has improved on the last couple of years, they think that Dallas is where they were a couple of years ago defensively, and they're not quite able to get the key stops at key moments.
How about Dallas taking over the lead from San Antonio as the best opponent's field goal percentage? Remarkable.
That 2 points ended an almost 5-minute drought for Dallas. Stojakovic on a drive.
Forget about the numbers, though. Forget about field goal percentage again. The great teams in the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game, they can shut you down, and Dallas has proven they're not yet to that level.
And Finley is fouled en route to the hoop by Turkoglu. Stojakovic has been brilliant this half. 27 for the game.
He just goes right by Michael Finley.
It's like Moses.
Somebody might want to tell Finley that Peja's right-handed.
So Dallas finds itself in an unusual spot, trailing by 5 as Nash hits a big jumper. First points of the quarter for Steve, 10 for the game. Bibby lobs it back out to Weber. 4:40 left in the ball game. Turkoglu works for a shot and got it. He had 9 of his 11 in the second quarter. That's his first basket since then. What a pass by Nash.
Look at what thread one through right there. Nice hands by Nahara being able to gather that one up. But can Dallas stop somebody? They have to get some stops. We know they can score, but it does you no good if you can't stop them.
We can see what Don Nelson thinks of Rafe LaFrentz's defense. He's got Rafe on the bench and Nahara in the game guarding Weber.
Ball out of bounds to Dallas. A Sacramento turnover there. Every possession about to become costly as we're going to work inside 4 minutes as Nash comes across midcourt. Van Exel, high arching three, and it hit nothing. And Nahara is fouled by Weber down on the baseline. He grabbed his arm.
This is the hardest balls to rebound. You're sitting there trying to figure out if this shot can't be that bad. Did they move the basket? Where do I position myself?
That takes your depth perception away a little bit, doesn't it?
Or it doesn't help when you don't look at your man either, put a bit of body on him. And Nahara just ran right by him, and that's the guy you have to block out because that's the reason Nahara's out there, to rebound and hustle.
Under 10 on the shot clock, by the way. Nice defense, Turkoglu. Finley fade away. Nowitzki's got another board. He'll take it himself. Weber clears it off.
Good rebound, good strong rebound.
Good step out, Nahara.
Nowitzki has 17 rebounds, despite the fact he missed that last shot. Bobby Jackson in the paint. Nash, just a one-hand bounce to Van Exel on the run.
Beautiful. What a beautiful fast break. Outlet to Nash. Nash quick hitter to Van Exel. Gone.
1 point game.
Nahara's playing ball. He just likes saying that. This guy's a good player, slowed by a knee injury this year. He's not all the way back yet. Can he get there this season?
Bibby through traffic over Nowitzki. He hasn't scored much, but that was a big one.
Well, that's one thing they supposedly worked on. Not allowing Sacramento a lot of layups.
Nowitzki fouled by Stojakovic.
This guy's tough. He is willing to put his body in harm's way.
He's been the heart and soul of Dallas. How about the one-hand push from Nash to Van Exel? 9th assist for Steve Nash. But on the other end, Mike Bibby had the answer, weaving his way through traffic. Sacramento with 2:39 remaining at home in front. 104-101. This is ABC Sports, the new home of the NBA Finals.
Whoa, 2:30-ish left in this ball game. It's a three-point contest, 104-101, and Dallas staying in it. But they had that little part of the game where everything just fell apart for them, and you knew that at some stage Sacramento was going to try to make a run.
Whenever you have shooters, guys that can flat out shoot it, you're always in a game. Sacramento proved it right there. Dallas has to take care of the ball. They got to block out, rebound, and get stops.
And here's the, one of the first of the many turnovers that the Mavericks had. The thing is, get a turnover, but it's important that you convert.
And there it is. It's quick strike. They're converting. They're getting out in the open court. Those are easy baskets right there that the Mavericks have to eliminate. And the Kings did a good job taking advantage of.
And there's that duel again, and then Bobby Jackson exploding to the basket that time for a deuce. But then Dallas comes back, and they get an easy shot. And you go, like, okay, at this stage of the game, you got to make the layups, especially that layup.
Again, whenever you're trying to stem the tide of momentum, you must make strong plays. That's not a strong play in the paint, and it could come back to haunt the Mavericks later.
So we looked at the clock, 3-point game, 2 minutes, 30-ish seconds to go in this contest. What are we expecting from both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively? I know I look at Sacramento, I see a better defensive team, not just from those steals, but throughout the game, I see a better defensive team in Sacramento than I do with Dallas.
Without question. And I think the fact is they have an interesting backcourt right now with both Bibby and Jackson. I think you've seen them put Bibby in some ball screens to help him become more of a factor in the game. It's interesting they haven't really gone to Weber. Weber threw a behind-the-back pass, soft play, turned it over. They need Weber to step up right now and assert himself. Time's running out in the game. On the other side, again, they got to find a way to get Nowitzki involved. They put a smaller guy on him. They put him down in the post. They haven't been able to get him post touches. It'll be interesting to see how it turns out.
The crowd there thoroughly enjoying this contest, and we have that a three-point ball game, 104-101, and I like, Mike's talking about the guards for the Sacramento Kings of Jackson and Bibby. You have those two guards that can get to the basket, and at this stage of the game, if you get to the basket, you have an opportunity of one, shooting the layup, but also two, of picking up that foul shot. And right now, you'll see on the line, Dirk Nowitzki with 2 free throws could make this a 1-point game. Let's get back to our announcers.
Ankle injury. He has put all the questions to rest as he just continues. This is his first point of this quarter, but he's got 17 rebounds to go with his 29 points.
Missed free throws usually a major problem for Sacramento. Early in this game, it was Dallas, the league's best at the line, and struggling mightily. That could come back to haunt them.
Yeah, and we'll see what the Mavericks can do here. Last year, after playing the Kings in the playoffs, their mantra was no layups. Well, the last couple trips down the court, it's been layups.
There's another one, or would have been, had there not been a foul en route. Michael Finley picks up his 4th.
At some point, to win it all, you've got to be able to stop guys. Just look at the guys. this guy is not going to score because I am going to deny every turn.
Weber. Bibby. Missed the jumper. And Van Exel the rebound. Dallas a chance to lead if they score. Nash. Naharan a reverse layup.
Beautiful. The vision of Steve Nash.
Nash with a double-double. Assists and points. Weber.
Not even close.
Turkoglu keeps it alive. Bibby for three. Got it! .107-105 under 2 minutes.
Good to see Turkoglu getting a look down the stretch here.
All the way in, Van Exel with a kick out. Nash all the way through traffic, but he missed in close. He got it back, and he scored.
Smallest guy. He's kind of standing around, ball finds him. I guess the first one wasn't hard enough for him. He wanted more of a degree of difficulty.
That's why you don't back up as a defender.
Weber trying to go over Nowitzki, and Finley's got the rebound. Tied at 107.
Weber slow to get back defensively. He was down. They got to capitalize, Dallas.
Nowitzki inside. Naharan, he's fouled by Bobby Jackson.
Well, that is some great passing right there. And you know, you haven't shot the ball well all day, but that's okay. You have the confidence you can make the big three-point jumper, and Bibby does it right there. And then Nash with the layup, the miss. Ball finds me. I'll just go and throw it back up over my shoulder. Easy stuff for Steve Nash.
Don Nelson has had the edge here in terms of setting the tempo. Going small here. Rick Adelman, who's got the overpowering front line at his disposal, has not tried to punish him inside. Another brick for Dallas.
Check in with Michelle Tafoya quickly.
You guys asked if Nahara would be 100% for the playoffs. He told me no. He would not be 100% until he had a summer off. He would get about to 85, 90, but he'd be inconsistent. That's what he's expecting of himself, and that's what Don Nelson is expecting as well. Back to you.
Played very well in this fourth quarter, though. He left one door open there as he hit 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Dallas by 1 with 1 to go.
Chris Webber won for his last 10. He
Jump hook.
is that immediately.
21 for Webber, and it's the Kings back in front. Everybody up at Arco except the 3 of us. Nowitzki had it knocked away, but it came free to Van Exel. Now the Kings with a rebound. No call, no travel, no timeout. Here comes Bibby.
Chris Webber was trying to call a timeout. The referees looked him off, saying you did not have possession of that ball.
Bibby down to Weber. He looks at the clock on the far end, and now back it in on Nahara. Out to Bibby. Bibby's jumper. He got it! He got it! Just before the clock expired. He waited and waited and waited until the fourth quarter, and then he became Mike Bibby.
Chris Webber in a horrible shooting stretch comes right back, goes to his drink, delivering with the hitch.
And then Webber with the rebound, little whoopsie-daisy behind the back. Going to keep the ball, and Mike Bibby with the three-pointer already under his belt, going to his left, rising up and over Van Exel. Not how many he hit, but when you hit him, and he's hit some big ones.
And that's why he's on the USA national team.
Three-point game. The crowd is into this one like it's a playoff game. Big game for the Sacramento Kings. They have 20 losses. Dallas Mavericks have 16, so they need it from that account. But the last stretch, the point guards, Bibby, Nash. Bibby, 10 points, 6 assists. Nash, 12 points, 10 assists.
Well, I think right now you see why they love Mike Bibby out in Sacramento. Stepped up, knocked down a clutch 3, and right there after they established Webber in the post, they get him out, and that's a huge 3. That could be the game-winning basket right
Huge
there.
3, but a big play by Turkoglu where he comes up with that offensive rebound to make it possible.
Again, Mavericks not blocking out effectively, giving the Kings a second chance opportunity. Here you see
shot clock at the top as well.
There you see Weber establishing himself in the paint finally in the last 3 possessions of the game, and it leads to good things for the Kings.
If you're the Sacramento Kings now, we know the Dallas Mavericks got to have a three-point shot. So do you now go up and foul them as soon as they catch the ball at the three-point line, or do you say let's everybody just play tough defense and let it fall where it may?
Well, the first thing you have to consider is how many fouls you have to give.
Yep.
If you're in a bonus, if you're in a penalty. If you're not, then that's a quality strategy right there.
Mhm.
However, I think what you have to do is just guard the three-point line. I think what you're going to see, the Mavericks come out and put Nash in a ball screen situation, dribble penetrating, space in the floor, have him penetrate, see if you can draw some help, and try to find a shooter.
Needing 3 points to win the game, dribble penetration, looking to draw help. If he gets on the other side of the three-point line, then you really don't need to find yourself concerned with Nash that much.
Let him go. And if he goes up to shoot, you cannot bail him out with a foul. Let him go to the basket. If he's inside that three-point arc, just let him go to the rim. Don't touch him.
Defensively, you're Sacramento. Where do you pick up? Half
Well,
court?
You're trying to make them catch the ball in front of you, number one. Number two, it depends if you have some guys that can switch screens. That's another effective thing down here at the crunch time. Make sure you challenge shots without fouling and block out of all 5 spots. Under no circumstances is there a second chance opportunity.
Foul if I'm Sacramento. Dallas is going to come out and jack up a 3. They're going for it right now. They're not going to wait around here.
They're not going to jack up a 3. They're going to try to get the ball in, quickly drive it to the hole, and get the layup, and then foul. If you want to turn this into a free throw shooting, if you want to turn it into a free throw shooting contest, Dallas is a better free throw shooting team than Sacramento. If you're Sacramento, you're at a disadvantage then.
Sacramento's taking Chris Webber out. They know it's already going to be a free throw shooting contest, and they know that Dallas is going for 3 right away.
Dallas has only hit 1 of its last 9 3-point attempts.
Now you got to go.
Nowitzki. Nash is going to take it for the tie. Missed it. Nash will get another chance, and he got this one. 1:11 apiece.
That's why you foul.
2.5 seconds remaining. Nash missed it, got it back with another chance, and buried it from the baseline.
Well, you didn't say anything about getting offensive rebounds.
That wasn't part of the equation.
It doesn't change anything.
Now, I still say with under 5 seconds left, I foul, but not with 14. But wow, what a fortuitous
3
bounce.
the whole time. Nowitzki had a step back.
Nowitzki
should have pulled the trigger there.
To Nash, who got a great open look and missed it. Now watch what he does. He heads to the baseline and gets another chance. And the second one goes.
Well, I'm not sure what Bobby Jackson's doing right here. Look where he is. Bobby Jackson flew by Steve Nash on the first shot. Everybody's going to crash the boards. There will be no fast break on missed shots.
More important than what's already happened. Let's figure out what Sacramento has to do right now.
2.5 seconds left.
Bobby Jackson and Mike Bibby. Those are the guys right there. Penetrate, dish. You might have a chance to lay one off to Stojakovic.
Dallas trying to avoid the dreaded sweep by Sacramento. They've lost all 3 of the previous games. Nash with a huge shot. He hadn't scored in the 3rd quarter, but in this 4th quarter, he's got 7 of his 15 and none bigger than the last one.
Well, Bibby's got to get the ball in his hands. You have time to set a quick pick and roll, and he's hit 2 big shots, so you know his confidence is high right now.
Who's going to inbound the ball?
You always got to watch out for that guy, too. Throw it in and step in and shoot.
They're going to have Bobby Jackson inbounded here.
Bobby will step over to our left. 2.5 seconds left in regulation, or we go to overtime. Does Sacramento get the sweep? They do if they score. And they're trying to tell the Dallas bench to back up. And here's the end of regulation. Jackson having a hard time to Weber. Right back to Bobby Jackson for the win. And he missed it. We're going to overtime. So that was the play. Weber slapped it back to Bobby Jackson, but no chance for him to get the shot. And we're going to an extra session.
Why would you ever want a game like this to ever end?
Might as well keep playing. And we will. There's Jackson's last attempt. End of regulation, 111-111. This ABC Sports presentation of the NBA will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
We asked for a big Western Conference clash, and I guess we have one, 111-111, an overtime contest. Steve Nash just came up big down the stretch, Mike.
There's nothing better than this. Here you see the ball screen we talked about. Nowitzki, they try to get him a look. They close him out. find Nash. He gets an open look, but nobody's blocking Nash out. They get the second chance opportunity. It's not done. He buries it. It's huge. Huge basket for the Mavericks.
You know, you look at that play there, I mean, so many defensive mistakes there by the Sacramento Kings. First, you know, you're in that situation. I would have thought you probably were looking at automatic switches at the three-point line. You know, that becomes an automatic, but then you lose Bobby Jackson, again, which Bill Walton talked about, sitting at half court. You know, you have to be involved in the play there, and here he comes a little bit too late.
Again, can you excuse that as inexperience? I don't think so.
No, not
He's
at all.
played enough basketball. He's a professional basketball player. He's got to execute in late-game situations. That could cost his team the game right now.
You know, let's look at some of the match stats. You know, as we go after 4 quarters, 111, 111, everything is just so close and so tight. Let's get back to our announcers.
Back at Arco Arena, everybody trying to collect their thoughts and catch their collective breath, too, I guess. This has been a gorilla of a game, and we're going to overtime. We welcome you back, 111 apiece. Fellas, strategy at the end. It paid off for Dallas. Steve Nash hits the shot of the day, but still, we got a lot of basketball left.
This is the second straight game, Brad, that we've been here with tremendous performances by the big power forwards here. You got Dirk Nowitzki with 30 points. He's only got 2 in the fourth quarter, though. Chris Webber's got 21. He's only got 4 in the fourth quarter. Who is going to be the guy who's going to be able to take this ball to the rim and finish strong, get the defense back on their heels? And Don Nelson, so intent on controlling the tempo early here, has inserted the big man, Sean Bradley, into the game.
Ian Webber will jump to start the overtime. This is the second time these two clubs have played overtime this year. The past one was February 27th in Dallas, and Sacramento won that one 126 to 124 on a Keon Clark shot.
You know, I think if you break it down, Sean Bradley makes about $5 million for tip 1.
Missed jumper by Finley. Here's Sacramento's first possession of the overtime.
Important for Dallas to get off to a good start here in overtime.
Nice pass inside. Finley had it blocked by Finley.
Oh, that's a tough call there against Sacramento. That ball was blocked as Bibby tried to get it up under the defensive duress.
Bibby talks about that with the official on the way up court. Meanwhile, Nash with a lob to Bradley.
Throw it down, Sean.
Van Exel. Look out. Jackson, Turkoglu, and now Bibby. Nash trying to save it.
Sean Bradley's hurt. This is not a good sign here. He landed very hard.
Gonna watch him come down right here, trying to get up there for deflection. It just looks like, knee first into the pavement.
And he heads to the Dallas bench and stays right on the floor.
Well, we can only hope that he's all right.
First minute of overtime, and nobody scored so far. Webber.
Oh, just off the mark. Naharov's done an outstanding job defensively.
Weber fouled out in overtime the last time these two teams played. Nowitzki trying to become the first one to score in OT, and does.
You got to help with that.
Peja Stojakovic cannot play post defense against Dirk Nowitzki one-on-one.
Well, no one can if you're going to give him 3 dribbles. Too skilled.
This is the third game in 4 days for both these teams, and fatigue, you can bet the legs are getting a little bit heavier here in overtime. Jackson inside.
Not his.
Not his.
Sacramento's the deeper team. And Rick Adelman has used a lot of guys off that bench, continues to go small. Certainly Hidu Turkoglu is not going to be tired. That guy's salivating for more playing time.
Finley for 3. Oh, missed it by a mile. Here comes Bobby Jackson, kind of by himself. And a blocking foul on Nash.
He puts a lot of pressure on you in the open court, and it's hard to backpedal and try to stay in his way. He is just a little bulldog, and you watch the drive right here. Just right down the gut, no one able to come over, and he is a guy. What was that about Allen Iverson getting to the hole as a little guy? This guy does it about as well as anybody, too. Getting to the hole, drawing the contact, getting himself to the free throw line.
Nash did a nice job of keeping his feet wide enough there to try to draw the offensive foul, but driving away from the basket, you're almost going to get that call virtually every time for Bobby Jackson.
Michelle tells us from the bench that Bradley's knee is okay.
Yeah, easy for her to say.
That's
He's
right.
got a big ice bag on it over there.
Bobby Jackson breaks the tie momentarily anyway, an 85% free throw shooter, but he missed the second. So it's Sacramento at home by 1. We're under 3 minutes. We're in overtime. Nash, pull up three. Got it!
They're running pick and roll involving Chris Webber defensively, who does not want to step out. And you see a fresher body in Nahara making a major contribution.
Nash has given Dallas a 2-point lead. Stojakovic gives it. Sacramento. Another three. He's got 30.
The inability of Dallas to stop small forwards becoming a nightmare for them on a league-wide basis.
Van Exel, Bibby guarding him.
Better get some help baseline.
Off the glass, a little too strong. Nahara to Nowitzki.
Chris Webber's just not even jumping defensively.
Perkalou with a big rebound.
Tough to rebound when you're waiting for the ball to come to you. Carrying the ball on Stojakovic.
Stojakovic can't believe it. Turnover.
Oh, me, oh, my.
The last time they called carrying over, I think you were wearing a red headband. They never call that. Not to say that people don't do it, but they certainly don't call it.
Sacramento's second turnover here in overtime. Another look at it. Finley tried to rip it out of there.
And you rarely see the international players put their hand underneath the ball. That's something that's become so prevalent in the American game.
Nash, fade away. Oh, my goodness.
He's hot now.
20 for Nash. 5 in overtime, and 8 of the last 10 points have been off Steve Nash. Stojakovic trying to get around Nahara. Tough shot. Nash with a rebound.
Nahara's defense has just been outstanding here.
We'll get you right to World News Tonight Sunday with Peter Jennings, or your local news when this one's over, but right now it's far from over.
We're going to double overtime.
Steve Nash show.
At least.
Steve Nash, 7 in OT, 22 for the game. He's given the Mavericks a 3-point lead here in overtime.
Quality game, but even super play by Steve Nash. Has come through with all the big baskets down the stretch, basically carrying the team on his back.
He's taken the game over. When they need a big basket, he's penetrated, hit intermediate shots. He's gotten to the rim, set up his teammates. He's been outstanding here in the stretch.
And Steve Nash in the game, 20 points, 10 assists. The guy that disappoints me for the other side of the ball, the Sacramento Kings, just the play of Chris Webber. Saw one instance where Nash outjumps him for an offensive rebound, which keeps it alive for the Mavericks. You have another instance where Nick Van Exel is more aggressive to go get an offensive rebound.
Webber's numbers are nice when you look at them in the paper, but where do they really affect the game? I think right now you're seeing Eduardo Nahara lock him down on the block. He hasn't been an effective post scorer. He's distributed the ball extremely well, but in general, he's been outworked on both ends of the floor. It's been really disappointing for Chris Webber.
Still enough time in this game, 3-point contest. Sacramento will have the ball on the next series. At this stage, it's all about just a basket.
That's exactly right. I mean, with the shooters that they have on the floor, especially as hot as Stojakovic is right now, anything can happen. Anything can happen. It's still up in the air.
We got a 120-117 game, and it's Sacramento basketball. I like the case of putting the ball in Bobby Jackson's hand, let him penetrate. Let's see, well, you have the shooter with Bibby, you have the shooter with Stojakovic out there.
I think clearly right now, all game long, the only real effective post play they've gotten for Webber was the last couple of possessions of regulation. Put the ball in the guys that are going to create for you, penetrate pitch, especially with those European shooters. Let them spot up and knock down a three.
Okay, if I'm them, I'm putting Bobby Jackson in the post. Let's get back to the announcers.
Take you back about 2.5 hours ago. I said to Bill in the opening, does Steve Nash have to be big? And he thought that was the key today, especially with Nowitzki a little bit hobbled. Well, Dirk has answered the call, and so is Nash now. Turkalou misses. Van Exel with a rebound. Dallas with About a minute left in the ball game, has the lead in overtime.
Shoot at 40 if you're Dallas. The clock is all in your favor. Clock management down the stretch, critical.
They can't get it down to 40.
Yeah, they can.
Nowitzki over Turkoglu, missed it, but he's fouled.
Did you take math at school?
Absolutely.
Oh, what's 56 minus like 6? 50. They get it down to 50. Not
They make the
whatever.
first free throw, miss the second, get the offensive rebound, and shoot at 40, and it's
Well,
all
then
right
they'll get
there.
it down to 35, 32.
Back to reality is Dirk Nowitzki at the free throw line. 32-point game. 33 now. Hasn't missed a free throw. Has 18 rebounds. All that, and he's not healthy. Are you kidding?
Unbelievable. Especially when you consider he has to bear so much of the load offensively, and to have to get down there and bear all the load on the rebounding, amazing.
Biggest lead by either team, obviously in the overtime, but dating back to the fourth quarter. Weber way outside. He got a three. His third of the year. He picked a good time for it.
Clock seriously in favor of Dallas here.
Nash, he'll try to answer, and does. What an overtime for Steve Nash.
They're just looking at whoever Chris Webber is guarding, and that guy is setting a screen for Steve Nash. He's wide open every time.
Jackson backpedals. He fires the three, and this one's off the mark. And we're down to 22.8 seconds. Chris Webber has hit 2 3-pointers before this one all season.
All season?
All season.
Well, you got to shoot quick. You got to get a 3 and then foul.
Jackson will take it. Missed badly. Finley the rebound, and he's fouled, and we've got 16.9 left, and things are looking Dallas' favor finally for the first time in 4 meetings this year.
And one of the reasons they do have the best record in the NBA is guys like Steve Nash able to hit big shots in critical situations. Webber not stepping up. Another reason they have such a good record. When they get ahead and you have to foul them, they make their free throws. The best free throw shooting team in the league.
We've talked all day about Dallas being the best road team in the NBA. Since the All-Star break, they have been an average 5-4. This would be as big a road win as they've had all season, because they have not had the success against the elite teams, of which Sacramento certainly belongs in that group.
Peter Jennings, World News Tonight Sunday, or your local news over most of these ABC stations, follows our basketball. It's in overtime. Michael Finley has 21. And it's a 7-point ball game now with 16.9 to go. And it looks like Dallas is going to get its 50th win of the year, win its second game in overtime, and more importantly, get that huge gorilla that's been riding their shoulders against this Sacramento team off their shoulders. Dallas against the best teams in the West. That has been their big bugaboo, if you will, and Sacramento being part of that, the Lakers being part of that. And there's what they have done coming into this. 0-3 against Sacramento. 1-2 against Minnesota. They've won 1 and lost 1 against the Lakers.
But without the contributions of Eduardo Nahara today, it would not have happened. This guy was magnificent. Don Nelson, third winningest coach in NBA history, did not get much from Sean Bradley or Rafe LaFrentz. Nahara was magnificent.
The Kings against the best in the West. This year, their record better, 11-8. And you know, just plain winning on the road, you can talk to 23 NBA teams and they can't say that they are a winning road team. And now you got Dallas about to go to 23-10 on the road, and that ain't bad.
Only one team in the Eastern Conference has a winning record on the road, and that's the Philadelphia 76ers. Congratulations to them for their big victory today at New Jersey.
So these two guys have been through the wars now 4 times in the regular season. Sacramento had won the last 6 games dating back to the playoffs of a year ago. And it looks like Dallas now is going to prevail here in a thrilling overtime game at Arco Arena as we're down to the final 15 seconds. Bobby Jackson hoists a 3, and he got it. Not over yet.
Yeah, but you're putting Nash at the free throw line now.
And he's a 91% free throw shooter.
Well, you don't have much to pick from out there. Nash, Finley, Nowitzki, and right here, Bobby Jackson knows he just has to fire. It doesn't matter if he's open or not, and hitting home. But they just have so many good free throw shooters. Once you get behind, you know, not only do you got to make shots and make some threes, you got to hope they miss, and generally they're not going to do that for you.
Don Nelson set the tempo today. He was always a step ahead. It was his substitutions going big when it seemed like they should have gone small. When that didn't work, he quickly made the adjustments. Sacramento having to battle from behind all day long.
Guys in overtime. Steve Nash, 4 for 4 from the floor. So far, 1 for 1 from the free throw line. He's getting ready to have 12 points in OT. That goes with his 6 rebounds and 10 assists. Not a bad day's work.
And he outplayed Bibby and Jackson.
Combined.
Which is tough to do in this building in a game that both teams needed to win.
Last year, as Jackson hoists another long one. Dallas won 57 games last year. They're about to win their 50th right here. And they finally can beat Sacramento in the regular season. They avoid the sweep. It took them overtime to do it, though. Final, 129-123. Coach doesn't look as happy as the owner does he? That's going to wrap it up. Once again, our final score, 129-123. Dallas on the road wins it. ABC Sports is online at ESPN.com. Keyword ABC Sports. Stay tuned for ABC World News.